Okay, welcome back, you guys, and today we're going to learn how to do a super taper or a great taper. Also, if you notice, this is my boy Isaiah. He's the second person I ever did a tutorial on YouTube. I did one other on a drop fade, and this is his last tutorial. We're actually going to retire him. So I appreciate all the videos he's done. He's been a great guy. I've been cutting his hair since he was in like high school, I think. He graduated college now, so yeah, this is his last hoorah. So let's get to it. He's getting a taper fade, a low taper wavelength with a 2-guard. You see the ceramic blade. I'm neither here or there with the ceramic blade. I heard they cut better. I believe they last longer. I heard they're sharper too, but I don't know. So I got a two on my Ender Supra ceramic blade. I'm going with the grain. He has a few cowlicks in his hair, so I comb through every few strokes, if you notice there, just to make sure I don't gap him. He also has a few thin spots on the edge up and one big thin spot in the back, which you guys will see. But I just want to comb through and make sure I get that wave pattern nice and smooth. And the reason why I comb instead of brush, so I can lift the hair from the scalp, so I can give it a nice, neater, and more symmetric type look. So when you brush the hair down, you actually land the hair down, and you can gap the hair more. So when you comb through, it actually gives it a much more flush, neater type look. So that's pretty much what I'm doing here. You guys watch, and when it's time to do the next step, I will be back. Okay, time for the back taper. So when we do the back taper, we want to start by balding, cleaning that neckline off. So basically, this first primary line is to clean the neck up and to give me a smooth, see that flip? To give me a smooth spot to start from. Everything, the neater your workspace and the more of a system that you have, I believe it gives you a more of a chance of having a better, smoother fade in any direction. That's for anything you do. So after I use my my Walls balders to bald it, create that first line, I come with my Andis Masters all the way open to start my secondary line. Secondary line doesn't have to be too high because I don't want to taper. It is a low taper, but in the back you don't really want to go over the nape of the neck. So after I get that secondary line in, now I start to fade that line in. Not to take that line out. I see a lot of people when they taper, they take a line away instead of fade a line in. It's a big difference. Because this is ultimately where my fade is going to transition into the rest of the haircut. So I want a smooth, flush line, not just one bulky, light to dark line. So it's all about smooth transition. As you can see, sometimes I stretch the skin and I use the corner of that blade just to hit certain spots. So I'm just not hitting and going. I'm actually systematically and I'm hitting my spots calculated, okay? I use my comb again because I want to stretch the hair. There are times when I do use the brush primarily on the edge up, but usually while I'm fading, I want to use that comb, okay? So that's pretty much what I'm doing here. You guys watch, and I'll be back in about a few seconds. Okay, so now it's time to blend that last line in. So now I'm going to start with my 2, or you can use a 3 since I cut his hair down to a 2. I want to use a guard equivalent or a little bit bigger so I can debulk. Debulking is basically you're thinning the hair out. I'm not so much as fading, but I'm thinning the hair out so that way when I do fade, it's so much easier to transition that fade and blend it real smoothly without gapping the hair, taking too much off, or just misplacing with my guard. So that's why when you thin out, it's equivalent of using the thinning shears on straight hair, but we're going to use a guard instead, and the clipper that I am using is my Walls Seniors, the cordless edition. So I'm just debulking. Then I'm going to come back with the 1.5 on the Seniors or the Magic Clip. Same process as you can see right here. And now I'm just debulking a step down. So I do it in layers to make it easier so that I don't gap. To do a good haircut, sometimes it's all about system. It requires talent and an eye, but it's nothing that any of us can achieve. It just sometimes we need help with a system. So I believe if you use this system, it'll help you out tremendously and makes it so much more easy for you, okay? So after I debulk the 1.5, I'm going to come with my 1/16, I believe, on my and this Masters. That's the little purple guard that I'm going to use. It's also the equivalent, 1/16 is the equivalent to a 0. So after I debulk, I'm going to come back with that. So I'm just making sure I'm hitting them spots, in and out. I'm just talking right now, so I'll see you guys in a second. And here we go. So the 1/16, that's the guard. Now I'm actually starting the fade process. So I'm going to fade with the 1/16 first, get what I can with that. And like I said, it's still a process. So after I get what I can with the 1/16, I'm going to come back with the Andis Masters, open, close, and I'm rotating the lever. I can never really give you guys which notch I'm using because it's all rotational. You're going to use different levers for different spots. I'm using the corner. But the best thing I can tell you is to eyeball those spots and get familiar. And the more familiar you are with the density and how thick that hair is, the easier it will be for you to understand which guard or what lever you should use. And if you look right there, those are some of his thin spots. So that's not where I'm supposed to take that edge up in. I see a lot of guys want to take the edge up in far because the hair is thin. That's not how it works. You keep it natural because when it grows back, you don't want it to look scarred. You know, you don't want too much new growth. So yeah, I'm using the corner. That's a thin spot over there. And there's another one on the other side that's much bigger, and I'll show you guys when I get there. But you see, I'm just notching with the clipper. Little spots here and there, boom, boom. It's no rush, patience. A great fade requires patience. Don't put yourself on so much of a time limit. After I hit certain areas, I go back with my guards, and now I'm just freehand working and thinning out certain spots, okay? Now this right here is that other thin spot I was telling you about. All hair usually have some type of imperfection, and it's on you as the barber to work around it. So one thing I can tell you for a fact is once you edge, now I'm going to make that fade on that taper on that side a little bit thinner, a little bit lighter, so that way it can kind of cover that spot. But a note to self and a hint to most barbers, a lot of barbers, when you edge the hair, it hides a lot of things that you can see before the edge up. So I don't have to worry too much about that spot. That's just how his hair grows there. I mean, it's just one of those things. So I'm going to fade. I'm going to make sure it's not too dense around there. I'm going to lighten it up. And then when it's time to edge up, I'll take care of everything. So that's pretty much the back taper. I'm about to edge the back of his hair. And I will see you guys when it's time to start that process. Okay? Okay. Okay. Okay, I was wrong. It's time for the side taper, not the edge up on the back. So I'm taking my Andis balders, right? I'm sorry, my walls balders, and I'm going to create a small line kind of where the lower temple and the top of the ear meets, right? And then I'm going to slightly take my Andis Masters and create a small secondary line so I can keep this taper low. It's all about the size of the edge up. If the person has a big edge up, you can kind of go a little higher, but he has a small edge up, so I can't go too high. I'm stretching the skin to make sure that the hair is flush. Now, I'm going to come back with my Wall Seniors Cordless Edition. I'm going to take that line out, slow strokes. That's what she said. No, seriously, very slow strokes. So that way, the slower the stroke, you don't take off so much hair in a chunk. Okay, it's all about precision. See, I'm just find my spots. And I'm also using the corner. I'm not so much using the whole blade as much as I am the corner of the blade, right? So after I get that first line taken out, the secondary line I'm going to debulk the same way. So the process on the side is the same as the process in the back. It's just the side, since it's such a small taper, it requires much more precision, effort, and patience, okay? So I'm going to let you guys watch me do that, and if I see anything that I need to comment on, I will be back. So now what I'm pretty much doing is I'm taking my Slimline Pro and just basically getting the hair more bald and taking away that line that I put in with the Walls balding clipper. It's just a trick I like to use. I flick it. It's more like a flicker. I don't really hard press it down, just a flicker, so that way I don't create another line. just to make it look. Trust me, when I edge it up, it'll look so much cleaner. Now again, I'm taking my tool, debulking, just like I said. So I'm not gonna keep repeating the same thing. I'm gonna let you guys watch me work on it. All right, just debulk first, then work it out. Okay, so when it comes to beards and sideburns, I believe in fading them in. It makes the cut look more complete, especially when you edge the beard up. Kind of makes the fade and the beard look like one, just a smooth look. But hey, it's all about what the client wants to, but I prefer to fade it in. So when you fade in the beard, you kind of just watch your strokes. I stretch the skin so that way it's less likely that I gap. I use the comb. Sometimes I use the 1/16 and the masters all the way open. But give it a nice fade, and then when you edge the beard up, I promise it'll make it look just that much more crisp. But that's a light fade so far, and now I'm just being repetitive, hitting little spots because I have OCD. And now it's time to 1, 2, 3, get to the back of the neck. Okay, so now it's time to edge the back of the neck. You want to I stretch the skin. You see I'm pulling with my thumb, and I try to pull the line out as far as possible. Just to make it nice and neat. Of course, you're gonna have to take some baby hair out the neck, but you don't want to push that line in. And you can see now, if you look at that line, you can barely see its thin spot now because that line is so crisp. I didn't have to push it in. Imagine if I would have pushed it in to where that thin spot was. So try to keep it natural. Try to find to where the hair grows the fullest and edge from there. So now it's time for the edge up. I'm using Elegant Shave Gel. I like the way it lays the hair down. I'm using my, it's the Dorco blade. It's the bendable. I break it in half. And see, if you look, pause. Okay, if you look about 2 centimeters below the blade, 1 centimeter above my thumb, that's his natural edge up. So that's where I'm going to keep it as I edge. I just want to point that out so you guys can know what needs to be taken off and what doesn't. I see a lot of barbers sometimes taking off more than necessary or more than what's necessary. And you don't have to do this. So let's just keep it natural and let's just watch the flow of things. So, and the reason why I'm using the blade with no handle is because I like the way that bendable blade can curve on the edge up. And PSA, also, when I say a lot of barbers, I'm not speaking of anyone specific. I say that so that I can help barbers who might not know that they're doing it better themselves. I'm still growing myself, so whenever I learn something, I want to pass it along. So don't take that necessarily as a slug to anyone. That's just in general, no specific person. So now this is where we reach for perfection. This is the point where thou shalt reach. Now, but seriously, see now I'm just hitting all the little spots that hang over. I'm very meticulous in detail. Small details stand out from far away. What I mean is, you might not think that someone can see this, but your client might be 1.2 miles away from somebody, but they can see how crisp that edge up was just because you went back. See right here, I'm taking the hair off as close to the eyebrow because it matters. Now the same process with the front of the edge up. You can see where his hair is thickest in certain spots. I'm not going to push it back, but I'm going to get those hairs that hang over. He has very curly hair, so I'm just taking off those hairs that curl over his natural edge up. I don't care how thin his natural edge up is. That's him, not me. Not his fine Isaiah. I'll mess with you, bro. You have great hair. But it's my job to keep it natural, but neat at the same time. Okay? Because listen, when I say people take the word pushback to the extreme. You're going to take some hair off. That's just how the game works, right? But we don't want to take off the excess amount to where it looks like a dang on me polar bear and got a help to his head when it grows back. We want to grow back with grace. With grace. Okay? Alright. So now I'm just taking my Slimline Pro, hitting small details. I'm going to let you guys watch me do this, and I will be back. I'm just cleaning up. You know what I'm saying? OCD, ain't nothing wrong with it, baby. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe, by the way, too. And I'm back in a second to show you guys one more little trick. This is where you set yourself apart from everyone else. This. You see that falling off right there? Oh, it's like butter. Oh my God, look at the art. I'm cleaning it up. I could have let him walk out of here before I did this, and it would have been perfectly fine to them. But to me, that cleanup, get them little legs, them little roach legs off. Oh my God, they can't tell you nothing. Hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Please subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I got something big coming for you guys next. I'm about to let you. Oh, look at that. Come on, man. Stop playing with me. Come on, stop playing, man. Look at that. Ooh. Isaiah, we love you. We gonna miss you, bro. All right, till next time, you guys.